Hi, I'm Kat, and this tutorial is how to make this jewelry box. Now this is just a shadow box, and all of these are antique drawer pulls. You can see it has a nice glass door on the front so that when your jewelry is hanging in it, it's not going to get tarnished and disgusting. The hardest part of this project was actually going to the hardware store and finding all of the hardware to go with the drawer pulls, because they're all different. You know, they're all from different furniture, different places. Some of them are metric, and I'd say it turned out pretty well, all things considered. Now this shadow box that I got, it was about $14 at Marshall's. You can also get them at TJ Maxx. This one was discounted from $20 because it has like a little chip on the bottom that you can't even really notice that much. It actually just kind of matches the rest of my furniture. Yeah, so the box itself was $14, and then I got each of the drawer pulls for anywhere from 50 cents to $2 each, and I'd say that's about average. You can get some really cute drawer pulls online, especially from Anthropologie, but they come out with shipping to an average of like $11 each, and I'm just not willing to spend over $50 on something like this to just put some of my necklaces in. Not really my speed. But I made this because my jewelry armoire is like way over full. I think I have some strange compulsion. So I wanted to hang some of my shorter necklaces in this, and this has these little hooks on the back right there, so I can hang it on my wall above my jewelry armoire. For this you're going to need your shadow box or cabinet. You'll also need a drill, some drill bits, your hardware that you're going to be using as the hooks, and either an old pillow or a dish rag that you won't mind if it gets a little bit messed up, because you're going to be drilling through the back of this, and if your drill goes all the way through, you want to make sure you don't hit your glass. And if you want to make it even easier for yourself, you'll need a ruler, some scissors or something sharp, and some tacky glue. I spent about a good half hour in the hardware store with Chris, the poor guy. He was trying to help me find all the hardware for each and every one of these, and we eventually did find all of them except for this one because it's a finial from a lamp. But here are just some of the cute ones that I found at random antique stores. So those are cute. I love this green glass one. But I need to find a prettier screw for that. And then these over here I actually got for $2 each at Michael's. So that's pretty easy, but you will have to replace the hardware because they come with these long screws if you want to do this kind of project on the really thin board like I did. So those are just some of the fun things you can find if you're willing to look around a little bit. So I'm going to use a drill bit that is the same size as the screws in the hardware that I got. It needs to be the same size or a little bit bigger, because when you screw this in, you can put a little bit of tension on it to hold it in place. So this is where you put your fabric in here, near the top of your shadow box, so that if you drill through, you're not going to hit the glass. Now because I'm using 5 pieces of hardware, I can just start by drilling my first hole in the very center, but you might want to use a ruler if you're not quite sure about where you're putting everything. You want to make sure you get them level, that kind of thing. And I know that I want these hooks to be usable, because that's what it's going to hang on the wall with. So I'm going to put all of my hooks just below these little things here. Now you don't have to do this. If you really want to, you can use your ruler to make sure you get it right. But I just want to make sure that I'm below those and close to the center. So all your holes are drilled, and your glass has been kept safe. And you haven't actually drilled through the fabric on this side. So most of the shadow boxes you're going to find will not have fabric in the back, but this one does. So what you can do is once you've drilled your hole, you'll see the indent on this side of where the hole is. And you can stick a pin in there and pull the threads apart, or you can just cut through the fabric a little bit. Make that hole bigger, and then put some tacky glue around the hole and smear it in. That way that's going to keep your fabric from fraying. And then do that on the rest of the holes if you have fabric on your shadow box. And now that all the holes are drilled and I've moved the fabric out of the way and glued it, I can start adding in the hardware. So this one is going to go in the middle because it's the biggest one. I think it looks best that way. And it's got a regular screw. It's going to go through the back. And this one is like really old hardware. It just has a bolt that comes at the back, so I bought a couple of nuts to attach it to this. So that screws through, and then I just attach that nut to the back. Tighten it. And then reach back in here and tighten this one in the front. So there we go, I've got two on already. And I've just got to squish this fabric out of the way. And I'm holding the screw on the back and then twisting the knob onto the front. And this one came with an ugly plastic silver finish knob, so as the final touch, I'm just replacing it with this one. So it's all finished. And it opens up, all my cute vintage knobs, and it's the perfect place to keep all my jewelry that doesn't fit in the armoire. And because it closes, it's not going to get tarnished. And there's the rest of the jewelry that doesn't fit. From before.